So when we're looking at being prepared for an emergency situation, it is so important to have your first aid kit ready. It's to be prepared, having peace of mind, and just knowing what to do in certain emergency situations and not having to go to the vet for every single little niggle and crack. So a few essentials to keep in your first aid kit is bandage material, some sterile solution for any eye situations, vomiting and diarrhea medication, some scissors, and then also a thermometer. To keep these things separate, one can always build on certain medications that is needed for your pet specifically, like anti-anxiety medication or chronic medication if your pet should need that. But I would start with something as basic as just the essentials, as we will list for you, and then you can always build on that. But having a separate container is also quite smart because your human medications and your pet medications should never be mixed up. The other thing to also have part of your first aid kit is your vet's emergency number, but have that saved on your phone. And even when you are traveling, to actually Google the nearest vet to your location, because that would actually help you to be prepared and to be able to know who the vet is during emergency situations. Some of the emergency situations that you would be able to handle at home are things like minor cuts, insect bites, and also know what to do if your pet ingests something toxic during this festive season. One of the things that you should do with minor cuts or even a torn nail is apply pressure to stop the bleeding. The second thing that you can also help with at home is insect bites, because you never know how your pet is going to react and if they are having an allergic reaction. So knowing some of the common signs, like if there's severe swelling, if there's any pain and discomfort, or even if you see any change in your pet's skin, please go to the vet immediately. I would suggest to look at your first aid kit and restock that after there has been an emergency situation, for instance, but it is also essential to keep an eye out on expiry dates, specifically on medication, and also making sure that you keep sufficient supply of bandage material, cotton wool. So it's quite important to have your first aid kit ready, having it prepared, and knowing what to do during an emergency situation.